You'll sleep on a win and wake up with a loss. Every time I think it's good, that's when I start relaxing. And then I wonder why the breakdowns happen. Then the oscillation of money starts happening, because money is a piece of paper with preconceived value that's matching your vibration.
Welcome back to Mulligan Brothers. Today's video, as always, was sponsored by Huel. I'm drinking Huel Black Edition, which has 26 vitamins and minerals, 35 grams of protein and slow release carbs to make sure that I can stay satiated and proteined up whilst I make these documentaries. If you want to find out more about these, go to the link in the description. I'll talk about them a little bit later on in the video. The perspective, I think, is we're in this, your beautiful house. You know, a beautiful home.
Yeah.
When you were in that car, was this a dream at that point?
Yeah. And I truly do believe that the thoughts that you give the most power to ultimately become a physical world reality. Some people believe that, some people don't, but they wonder why they keep dating the same kind of man or the same kind of woman, or attracting the same things over and over and over. Why does this keep happening? Because you keep talking about it. You don't actually realize just how powerful of a magnet you are. You can either attract or repel things in your life. And so I have a handful of instances where I would be like, I wonder whatever happened to Todd. And then Todd would call me after 10 years on a FaceTime. And I'm like, this has happened a lot of times in my life. Well, let's just say that wasn't even the ABCs. But if you did learn the skill set of where that comes from when you start saying things and then they happen, be like, oh my God, what a coincidence. Well, what if there's no such things as coincidences? And what if you could actually learn the power of co-creating with all of creation by attuning yourself to a specific vibration which emits a frequency, and based off of how you're harmonizing inside of your own body, that is coupled with the thoughts that you give the most power to, this plastic universe will shape itself and bend itself, including bending time, to make sure that life physically shows up in direct proportion to who you're being. Kind of like going to the movie theater and then there's a little person in the back and they put something in the film strip, and then whatever's in the film strip projector is what shows up on the screen. Same thing happens with your life and your thoughts.
The new year is approaching, and as always, Mulligan Brothers is doing its 2025 sale. So if you put the code in on the website, you can get buy one, get one free across the whole range, including the Not a Journal and the Memento Mori poster, an interactive poster that you fill in every single week, and it shows you how much life you've lived and potentially how much you've got left. Then somewhere along there is a square that will be my last square. It might have even been the square that I filled in last week, and I promise you that fills you with the most motivation to make your life mean something and live with purpose. And the Not a Journal is a journal for just getting stuff done. I know so many of you have loved it, and that's why we've included it in the buy one, get one free with the link below. While stocks last. Once all the journals are gone, that is it, guys. As always, each year we do sell out, so make sure you get your orders in very quick. By purchasing something from the website, you're helping support us going into 2025 to be able to make even more incredible documentaries.
The one thing that's interesting to me is that you've reached a level of success that someone would be like, okay, cool, let's, sit down, skate by, sit back. How do you, because I see this as a block that most people have, is it stops them. That safety net or that thing that they now have or possess, it's like, I don't want to risk that anymore. How do you carry on growing? Because now your ambitions and your dreams for the future are huge.
I will tell you, Conor McGregor said something in an interview one day, and man, it landed so much. He said, man, most of us, he was like, when you start winning, that's when you get lazy. He was like, you'll sleep on a win and wake up with a loss. And I was like, that's what I'm doing right now. Every time I think it's good, that's when I start relaxing. And then I wonder why the breakdowns happen. Then the oscillation of money starts happening, because money is a piece of paper with preconceived value that's matching your vibration. Currency, current, the current of flow state. So if you don't understand how energy works in your life, now you're being controlled by the paper. That's why when people lose all this money, all of a sudden oh my God, oh my. That doesn't happen to me because I'm operating off a completely different template. So the level of success that I strive for is sustainable peace. It's not get all this money and I got these cars and live in a 9,200 square foot house on this big lot with this waterfall in the back. That to me, back when I was living in my car, was like this massive big thing. Right now, it's not a massive big thing. It's a way of life. So it makes sense. It feels effortless for me because I wasn't driving for the house. I was driving for a better version of myself. And the outside is the physical manifestation of what's going on inside. I didn't force this. I didn't force the wife. I didn't force the kid. I didn't overcompensate. It's a mirror image of who I am, of who me and my wife are, of who our family is. So this feels effortless for me. So that's the difference. The aim underneath, there's no quiet. It's like, if I can just get this house, then they'll like me. If I can just get this car, now people will think I'm cool. I'm 10 years past that because I saw what it does. And I'm so grateful to have been in the entertainment industry and been around some really powerful platinum selling artists, people who are A-listers, and watch the self-destruction of their life of what most people perceive what success is. My friend, I thought he had it all. Put a bullet into his brain. He had everything but himself. He wasn't connected. He wasn't connected to God. He wasn't connected to himself, but he was connected to all of the things outside of him. That is a person that gives their power away. And that made me rethink what success is. And so I come back to the conversation. I had to create a game that I actually liked playing, not one that looked good to other people. One that I wanted to play that made the most sense for me, my future family, which I now have. And so I'm not playing the game by, let me accumulate all these things. I'm playing the game as, how can I be the highest vibration of myself? How can I be the greatest representation of who my daughter will marry one day? How can I be a pillar of a committed and devoted husband, be in a room with a bunch of beautiful women and still harness the covenant of myself and my wife without having energy leak out and things like that? It's a rare breed. I know that. And this is the life that I've chosen because that's my version of success. So as I continue to strive for that, I look around in my life and I'm like, oh, these are the extras that come with it. So I'm not like, oh my goodness, $500,000 in a day with clienteles and one-on-ones and things like that. It makes sense according to the life I've decided to live. It makes sense according to the life my wife and I have decided to live. So earning $1 million in a month is not a surprise to me when my wife are talking about, how do we earn $150 million in a month And then the next question is, who do we need to be to make that kind of impact in humanity? How do we raise our vibration, which emutes a specific frequency? How can we serve humanity in such a way where that $150 million a month is effortless? Also, what are we going to do with the $150 million a month? So all of this is a part of an actual plan that we've talked about. And it has us playing the game. And people, sometimes they're like, I don't want to play no game. Cool, well then you will die playing somebody else's game. So we just learned how to play a game create a game that we actually like playing, and we're both A players. You are born looking like your mom and dad, but you will die looking like your decisions. I do not care how much money you have, how much influence you have. Are you actually happy?